Yeah, Homer led the league in tackles with 85. The deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first.
On the draw, this is Grayson Allen. And Allen weaving his way all the way down to the 22.
10-yard line, 5. Mayfield, dancing all around. Throw it as far as he can throw it. Jump ball coming. Crazy stuff. Not this time.
And you want to be a wide receiver. You're going to have to take a little bit of a hit like that as Brown got him in that shoulder, but watch. Oh, those are teeth.
Do we have a dentist on staff here?
And welcome to Shady Sports Network. I'm Michael Washington today. I have two very special guests. I got two teams that are going to be playing each other in the EUA 8 National Championship game between the Pharr Phantoms of Texas and the Desert Sentinels of California. First and foremost, gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm really glad that we are actually going to be able to do this and bring some sort of attention to what you guys are doing in this, game and in the world of football in general, to try to get some eyes on it. So thank you for joining me on that front. How is everybody doing? You can answer all at once. It doesn't matter.
We're good.
We're good.
Good.
Doing well.
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Glad to have you for sure. I mean, I talked to Mondo a little bit, off air or whatever, and got a chance to chatted up with Coach Ted a little bit beforehand as well, before we came on air as well. But first and foremost, actually, let's start with Coach Ted. Coach, why don't you go ahead and just give us a quick little rundown and introduce yourself and basically just give us a little background as to how you started with this team.
So my name's Coach Ted. I've been part of the Sentinels starting back in 2015 when it was formed out of basically nothing, with no 8-man really being played in, say, California, West Coast area at all. I was part of the team. We had traveled and we played international ball every weekend. We had to travel to Mexico just to play games. So we did that for like 2 years, just constantly having to travel outside of the state just to play games. And then eventually it came about what it is today. I was fortunate enough to be able to take the reins and become, this primary owner of the team, coach, player, all of the above. And it's been a blessing. We've done a lot of good things and a lot of good things for a lot of guys. So with that being said, I mean, being part of this program is huge, definitely for the West Coast and California in it. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Nathaniel, you are the captain of the Desert Sentinels. So why don't you give us a little bit about how you came about with this team and give us a little introduction about yourself real quick.
All right. Well, my name's Nathaniel. I play linebacker. I came about in about 2019 when I got a phone call from Ted. I was playing 11-man at the time. He had tried to get me out for years, and I just was like, I don't play that. I'm 11-man. And then, so finally I gave it a shot and I fell in love with it, so playing with the Desert Sentinels, the brotherhood that we have on and off the field, and, the way Ted runs the program is phenomenal. So it's something that, it draws attention and people want to be a part of, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
No doubt. All right. Your opponents from Texas, the Pharr Phantoms, who I have a little bit of connection with Daniel, but right now we have his brother, head coach Juan Villalpando. Did I say that right? I'm so terrible at that. So
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's Villalpando. That's good.
Villalpando. Okay.
Yeah, we've gotten it multiple ways. It's fine. We
Oh,
we know who you're calling. It's no big deal.
no, for sure. I tell Daniel all the time, like, I'm sorry for butchering it. I tell you ahead of time, and
It's
I've
completely
been
fine.
working on it. It's still not very good at it. So, all right, yeah, Coach. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about how you started with the Pharr and whatnot, and should give us a little introduction about yourself as well.
So the Pharr Phantoms have been around since 2017. There was one prior head coach to me, and I got lucky. Something happened there, and he had to step away. Great guy, his name's Steve. I just got lucky, and I inherited the team. And then I just kind of took it from there. My brother was already part of the team. I was part of the team the year one. I've been part of the team ever since, and we've just been building it from there. And I'd be lying if I said, I built it myself. There's no way. Yeah, players recruit players, and my brother Daniel has always been a really big X factor when it comes to recruiting the players. And we've been lucky and fortunate along the way, and we've won some, we've lost some, but it's been a great experience, great ride. South Texas, and I do want to attribute to another person. His name is Jose Perales, which is he was the owner or the commissioner of Texas Valley Sports, and that's where the Pharr Phantoms originated from. He was actually the creator of the team, and the creator of all the teams from that league. And we just kind of fell into a right place, right time situation. He handed me the keys, and then the rest is history. Here we are, playing for our second national championship against an extremely tough opponent. I mean, these guys, all they do is win games, win league championships. We've known them for years. Yeah, so we it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
No doubt. And we have his team captain with us tonight, Mondo. Mondo, welcome. Give us a little introduction about yourself and whatnot, and how you got started with Pharr.
My name's Mondo. I play offensive line. Originally, I started with Pharr in maybe 2020, 2021. I actually got recruited by one of our players. I would see him at the gym, and he would always ask me, hey, you want to play football? I'm like, well, I haven't played in a couple of years. I don't know. So, and he kept asking me. He asked me about a good 4 times, and that 4th time he got me. He's like, just come on, just come out. We have practice this day. Show up at this time, and then we'll see how it goes. So I went, showed up, and it was natural. Football is football. You play it for a while, it's natural. And I just decided to come out of retirement, like everybody says. And I know this is at least our shot at a second national championship. I wasn't able to play the first one. I had some things to do. I went out of town, so I wasn't able to play. So it's a blessing to be playing for this one for sure. And thankful for my head coach, and then his brother Daniel, always taking care of us, the team, always there for what we need. And I'm just excited to play against the Sentinels and stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely excited to hear about how this goes and whatnot. Is this going to be televised anywhere? Will I be able to stream this anywhere? Yeah, I got a bunch of. Okay, where? Why don't you tell the viewers real quick where we can stream this?
Yeah, so the it's going to be streamed on the Shady Sports, so it'll be on there. It'll be on Shady Sports Network, so you guys will have that on there.
Yeah.
The viewership you guys have acquired over the years, since you guys cover so many areas of football, like you mentioned, the LFA, 8-man, 11-man. You guys are all over the place, so it's a great fit. Especially for what I know, Coach Ted mentioned earlier. When we were off air, that we're trying to get spark back in the 8-man, and we feel that Shady Sports is going to get that going for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we definitely we were definitely going to do what we can to help bring eyes to the product by all means, for sure, without a doubt. All right, so the first question, Ted, this is for you, coming from here and whatnot. To the outside world, to the people who don't know about the Desert Sentinels, who are you guys? What's your identity, and what's the overall branding like? Or what kind of values do you bring to your team as far as the makeup is concerned?
So, if I understand the question correctly, you want to know the inner parts that nobody sees.
What kind of like the value, not
You
necessarily the
want me
values,
to
but
peel the onion back a little bit? No,
a
I
little
got
bit,
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
We want to see a little bit of what the Desert Sentinels are about.
yeah.
For sure,
No,
absolutely.
Desert Sentinels have always been about family atmosphere. I know that that's cliche, but
Wow. That's
if
what
you really
football is.
look at where we come from, that's not normal here. It's out here, and I hate to say it, it's buddy ball out here. And it's like, oh, it's who you know and gets to play, and that's all they care about. The Sentinels, yeah, we want to win. Yeah, we want to have everybody play. Yeah, that's the great part. That's the reason why we do this game. But what we do outside of football
Mhm.
is where the value comes. We do health checks. Like, I'm just doing a 5 minute conversation, just checking up on you.
Yeah.
You good? You need anything? You solid? Yeah, we good, coach. Thanks, man. Next phone call. Doing little things like that, having small conversations, making sure that guys are, just being a part of that family. Because some of these guys don't have that, and so that's what we are. We are their outlet. We are their family. We are their support system. We are, whatever they need us to be. Um, you know, if you will. And then what draws everybody is the fact that the owners, because there's an ownership group of four of us, we actually play.
Nice. Okay.
So when we are playing, we don't put the ownership hat on. We are just like the next man that's wearing a uniform, which is very unique. A lot of owners would put themselves first and the players second. We put the players first and the owners are second. So it's a little bit of flip of the reversal role. And we really just try to put that out there. Like, that's what really draws people out is like, hey, if you come here, they're going to embrace you as if you've been there the whole time, not just if you're a newcomer or it's your first day out. They're really going to embrace you, make sure you're on the same page as quick as possible, make sure you need anything, double check with you. They're really going to look out for you. And that's pretty much what being a sentinel is
Nice.
being part of something bigger than football.
Awesome. Love to hear that foundation on teams because it is a community and it is a family across the board. Anybody who's played knows that. Coach Juan, basically the same question to you as far as Pharr is concerned. What's the foundation like over there, and how do you guys build upon your community with your team over there?
I mean, it's kind of tough to follow what Coach Ted just said. Yeah, I mean,
Blame your brother. He's the one that put the questions together.
no. That's I mean, that's good. I think that's great to hear on Ted's part because that means that we're gonna have that much of a better game because we're playing a team that's very similar to what as far as values that we have. I think that's why this is gonna be a great matchup. But yeah, the Pharr Phantoms, right? Who are the Pharr Phantoms? Just to piggyback and to Ted's point, um, we just like that cliche being thrown around. Everybody says, "Oh, this is a family organization. This is a family ball," And but similar to the Sentinels, I mean, we stick to that word. I mean, we have players that no longer play with us that are best friends, and when I mean best friends, I'm talking about let's say a group of guys that they get together and they go on vacations together. They no longer play with us. They keep tabs with us and they're still in the group chat. Um, their wives know each other and they go on vacations to Mexico and so on and so forth. Or some of their kids are around the same age, and
Nice.
so similar to what Ted is saying is these bonds, these brotherhoods, they last past the gridiron.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what and Mondo can attest to this too. That's what's made this team special in our area. Because we have had some competitive teams down here. We had the RGV Kings here for a while. Before that, we had the Pit Bulls, the Mavericks, and
Nice.
for us locally, those are there's some studs on those teams. And I'm not saying that they weren't brotherhoods at all, but there's a reason why some of the teams are still around and some of the teams are not. And I don't want to speak on anybody else, but we take pride in looking after one another, taking care of each other on and off the field. Not just us. I mean, our families. Hey, Mondo's out of town. Somebody needs something. Let us know. And just like Ted mentioned earlier, we've had people in the hospital as well, and so on and so forth. You need some food. You need a food run. Let anybody know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To us that goes a long way. People gravitate towards that. Because this is minor league football, semi-pro football. That's not common. That isn't common, and we definitely take pride in that. So the Pharr Phantoms, and I'm glad we're playing the Sentinels because I'm finding out that we resemble each other a lot more than I thought, and
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
like that. I really do.
Yeah,
I like
hell
that.
yeah.
So and I know Ted can probably go on another 30 minutes talking about the Sentinels, and I know I can too about the Phantoms, and yeah, and that's good. I mean, that's good. That's a great
No, it's
thing.
definitely great. It's definitely
Yeah,
good. Yeah, for sure.
and I don't want to take up all the time, but yeah, I mean the Phantoms, yeah, definitely a strong brotherhood. I'm proud to be a head coach, and similar to Ted, again, I put the pads on too,
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
I might not put the pads on this game, yeah, I don't think I will, but I started off as a player, and then when I took it over, then I took on that player coach role, similar to Ted and his three other owners. So, but yeah, I'm Pharr Phantoms, so definitely a strong brotherhood.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, Daniel, this wasn't part of the question, but I heard you mention in your introduction that you were like, I'm strictly 11 man. When you got down or over into to the Desert Sentinels, was that sense of community and that family, was that how much of a difference was that then from like previous 11 man teams you've played on or other teams you've played on in the past?
Well, there was a large amount of guys on the team already that I played with on 11
Oh,
man
nice.
teams.
Oh,
So
okay.
it wasn't anything new. So it was just me going 11 man shifting to 8 man with about 6-8 guys that I've already played with.
Okay, nice. All right.
So
Fair.
it was nothing. It was the same.
Fair. Oh yeah, no, I just didn't know if there was a change there. Was there a change for you, Mondo, at all when you came out of retirement and made that jump, or no?
Honestly, I really wasn't too familiar with 8 man. I knew about it, but maybe the basics. I
Basics.
knew like it was, 3 linemen, your receiver, your quarterback, stuff like that. But the transition was different, and I know there's certain rules. As a lineman, I didn't know I had to declare because I would have been a tight end as well, type of thing. So I from when I started to now, I can tell you that I grew so much knowledge in this game, in the 8 man world at least.
No doubt, no doubt. Just wanted to get a little bit of a feel of a difference there. All right, Coach Ted, you mentioned a little bit of the brief history of the Sentinels in 2015, right? I believe you said during your introduction is when it started or whatnot. So I got a little bit of the history there. What are some of the championships or achievements that this team has accomplished since 2015? This is what, year 10 of the existence of the team.
Yeah,
What
this will
are
be.
some championships or some accomplishments that this team has achieved?
Well, I know that they're, when we first started out, which like Mondo said, we didn't know nothing about 8 man at all. We just formed a team. We're like, hey, this sounds like fun. So we lost a few in the beginning, in our first inaugural season, but that's expected when you're trying to figure out something you've never played. But we quickly learned from those experiences, and then we went on a small little run of 4 championships in a row, which nobody saw coming, not even ourselves. We didn't realize that was even in the cards, but it just started kind of taking a life of its own. And then we've been in 4 leagues now, and we've won in every league multiple times.
Awesome. Okay.
So to me, that's kind of a sense of an accomplishment, because it's like, okay, hey, instead of like some teams they'll stay in the same league and just dominate the league for a decade. But what does that really tell you about your team? Are you really challenging yourself? Or are you really trying to look for something that's different and it's going to allow your team to grow? Yes and no. I mean, ideally, if that's the only league around, I understand. But if you have opportunity to be in another league and try to help your team grow, then go do so. with that being said, it has brought in us opportunities to be able to play like, the Idaho Horsemen and things like that, and be invited to other teams along the way to go play at a different level. Rather, we're technically, as Juan said, labeled pro or not.
Yeah.
I know that Juan and the Phantoms are conducting themselves as pro-like as possible, as well as the Sentinels are. And that's
sure.
what I love about this whole matchup too, is it, like Juan said, we are alike, whether we realize it or not. But the way we carry ourselves. So I think those accomplishments are significant, regardless of what they are. To be an 8-man team out in California isn't easy. I'll tell you that right now. It's not. We literally have to seek out teams beyond our city limits, beyond our state lines, because certain teams just don't want to be on the same field as us. And that comes with, when you start stacking up the success, teams start saying, maybe we ain't ready yet. That's okay. No harm, no foul. It just means, if we want to challenge ourselves and grow, then you accept challenges and you take on whatever door opens. And this one opened up, and now we have a big challenge with the Phantoms.
Nice. I like that. I like hearing that too. Coach Juan, same thing for you, man. Like, I know you told us a little bit of the backstory as far as 2017. They've been around, and you kind of inherited the team. What about some of your accomplishments and achievements with this team that you're proud of on this end?
I mean, we've been fortunate, right? We've won a couple of championships too. We've lost some championships as well, which, you don't forget those, and they definitely help you grow. Yeah, we've mostly been with TVS, Texas Valley Sports. We played with another league locally as well, the REFL, and then I think as an organization, one of our best accomplishments is that we did get to play against the Corpus Christi Tritons. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a tough team. I'll put it at that. But I mean, who would have known? I would have never guessed in my taking on the team in 2018, that I'd be head coaching against a professional head coach, right? And in a Coach Sanchez and Coach Anderson, who's there now, and in the Corpus Christi Tritons. A little bit after that, we did as well venture out this last TVS season, this last Texas Valley Sports season. We got into some tougher competition as well. We ended up playing some teams out of San Antonio, out of Austin, out of Corpus. And once again, we were fortunate, put in the hard work, and we got another ring out of that as well, another championship. So, but the championship losses, those are tough.
Oh yeah.
And then here we are, full circle in another national championship, because the first one we played against the Dallas Prime, and anybody knows the Dallas Prime, they know that they bring it, and that's a tough team, tough opponent. Good game, but they were the better team that day, and my hat goes off. But it's hard to get past that. So I'm happy to get another crack at it with the Sentinels. So hopefully we'll see how things end up.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. We'll circle back to the Corpus Christi story that you mentioned too. I got a question to follow up on that as well.
Of course.
But first, I want to hear from Thaniel real quick. Thaniel, give me a little bit of your backstory. Like, where did you start playing ball, and kind of like what have you been doing? I'm assuming you said you've been with the Sentinels for a little bit now. So, what were you doing prior to that, though, before coming over to the Sentinels?
I played for a team out of still in California. It was out of Yucca Valley, California, the High Desert Vipers. Before that, I kind of set out and took a break, and then I played with a team that's no longer around before that, which was the Desert Valley Chiefs. I played there with Ted, and then Ted took over that team for a while as far as head coach. Won a couple championships with them, won a championship with the High Desert Vipers, and now with Ted. So I've been playing for some years.
Yeah.
And then way before that, I was with the Desert Valley Spartans.
Okay. All right, yeah. So you've been around for a little bit, man. How's it feel? How's it feel playing? How's it feel playing at this time of your life, man?
Easy. Just keep
Easy.
going. As Ted knows, man, I go. I'm always gonna go all out for him. If he asks me to do something, I'm gonna go out there and do it. I told him like, hey, whenever you need me to run through the wall, just tell me. And there's
No
times
doubt.
when our back's to the wall, and he's like, I need you to run through that wall. All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you there. Mondo, how about you, man? I talked to you a little bit off air. You had mentioned that you had retired or whatever and came, but you said you joined Pharr in 2001, right?
Uh,
You said?
in about 2020, 2021, somewhere around the area.
Yeah. And what were you doing before that? Well,
I,
other than retirement.
I was up in college. I went to college in 2015, and I played ball for 2 years, and then I stopped playing ball. I stopped going to college, and then right before I moved back down here, I used to work in the corrections. So once I was doing that, I decided to move back home, and that's when I had met my teammate Mike, and he was the one that got me into playing with the Phantoms. Really, I mean, ever since then, I haven't really stopped. I mean, I've won a couple championships with them. I know before I started, they had won a few. I've lost some with them, so I really, I'm just blessed to be where I'm at now. And
Yeah, no doubt.
it's the game is, I'd say it's a little bit easier now. I think now I'm just doing it to have fun. I'm doing it because it's fun for me. It's what I like to do.
Yeah, no doubt. When it stops being fun, it's time to hang it up, right? That's usually how that goes when it stops being fun. I want to ask. You mentioned Juan about playing Corpus Christi. As far as playing against a professional arena indoor teams like that, what does that mean, or what did that mean to you from an ownership and coach standpoint, or I guess just from an organization standpoint as a whole? What did it mean playing at that level against those teams mean?
I mean, it's words don't really describe. I think it's kind of hard to put into just one phrase or one sentence. It's difficult. It's different because you're there. You're kind of in awe, but you gotta hunker down because it's time to coach. You're not there to watch. You're there to coach. You're there, to partake. You're not there as a spectator, but you also got to soak it in because that may not ever that chance may not ever present itself ever again, right? So it's like trying to enjoy it, but also trying to, like I said, put that head coach hat on and keeping your guys. There's so many mixed emotions, like from pregame, you look up at the scoreboard and you see your Pharr Phantoms logo, like something that you put up on Facebook. There it is up on the arena, and people are watching you. You got people texting you. It's just so many things going on. I mean, from an organization standpoint, I mean, you're proud. You're proud, right? It's almost like the peak or the height of how far one can get from that level. Anything other than that, then you are the pro team, I would say. Then you are the one paying your players, and you are the one making the money, and you're the one in the arena. So I think that's about as humbling as a moment as it gets. But to see the look on the guys' faces, yeah, and don't get me wrong, it was a mix, right? It was a mix of like we're here, and also like, oh man,
We're here.
we're here, and they're here, So but it was great. It was great. I don't ever forget it. I'll never forget it. We still talk about it to this day, even though it was a tough loss. But we talk about everything from the environment, the crowd, the everything, right? Walking into the stadium, the arena, excuse me, and pre-games, and these guys, they don't. It's a memory they could take forever, and say, hey, yes, okay, maybe so, because some of those guys I had already played pro ball, and most of them haven't, but they get to say they tell their kids or their cousins or somebody, hey, I can do it. Maybe somebody else can do it too. So it was a great feeling. And I do want to add this, Mike. Just to kind of reel it back a bit, I forgot to mention something that I think was very great, and was we had this international bowl last year in Monterrey, and Mondo was there as well. and that in itself, I'm upset that we didn't record everything like behind the scenes. Mando will tell you, because it was a roller coaster. It was a 3-day tournament. Okay,
Oh,
for
okay.
football, yeah, for football that's tough, right? 3 days.
Yeah.
So we get there the first day, and I'm gonna kind of sum it up because I don't want to take up all of your time. First day we played our first game. We won. The second day we played 3 games in one day.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Um,
wow.
exactly, and it
Oh,
was it was
man.
raining, cold, and it was awesome, right? And then the third day was the championship day, but that environment, the crowds there in Monterrey, Mexico, the
Mm,
fans. I mean, it was very similar. Obviously, maybe not as loud, but you can feel the energy.
mm.
That they love their football down there. They really do. They love their
They do.
football
Oh,
down
yeah.
there. And since we're on the topic of I guess a major organization accomplishments, the winning that international bowl in Monterrey for myself and the guys was also pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. Absolutely. Coach Ted, have the Sentinels? I'm assuming you guys have played some of the pro and arena teams as well, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
And
A couple times.
as an organization, did you have the same sense of validation that Juan had as far as like when you actually got to that stage and played them, or like what did it mean to you? What did it mean to your organization?
I'm not gonna lie. I think me and Juan are looking at a mirror when we speak, and we're speaking to each other. No, it's just like Juan said. I mean, when you're owning a team or when you're guiding these grown men into whatever direction you're choosing to go, you don't ever really imagine yourself being in, as we call it, the real world of football.
Yeah.
Where everybody really pays attention to, because we're just basically what most people call us as a rec football. Oh, you just play for a rec team out for fun. No, we're not playing in a beer league, softball tournament. No. But that's how people perceive it.
Of course.
The fact that when we entered those stadiums, like Juan said, like I told my guys, because it never really hit us. I'm not, and I mean this as a full on. It didn't hit us that we were in a pro game until technically the program was over.
Until yeah.
That's when we realized, like, oh shoot, we just played a pro game. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because everything that goes up to it, like, you try to tell yourself, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for whatever comes out. I'm ready for how all that. But nobody tells you, hey, I need you at the stadium at this time. You guys are going to come out at this time, and then you're going to warm up for this amount of time, and then you're going to go back there, and then you're going to come back out of the tunnel, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to have a commercial break. And we're like, what the hell is this? We don't have commercial breaks. Like, what do you mean there's a commercial timeout? Like, so it really, like, the whole atmosphere, like Juan said, is you're trying to embrace it, but yet you're trying to lead your team all at the same time. And you're trying to find that balance. And like I said, Idaho is a great place to play. Not gonna lie. Their fans, by far, are the most entertaining fans in football that I've encountered. I mean, because we got to go up there for 2 years in a row, so we got fortunate. The second year was more exciting than the first because now you kind of have a familiar face to talk crap to in the fans.
No doubt.
And vice versa, and so you get to see that, and you get to see your team logo on a scoreboard and your team, and you get to look at your guys in the face, and you get to see just the satisfaction of knowing they can say, like Juan said, I got to experience that. That memory that they've gained is priceless for the Phantoms players, for the Sentinels, and for any other players at our level to get that opportunity. For them to just not embrace it is a shame if they don't.
Yeah.
We're not meant to go up there and win. If we do, that's just gravy. We're not meant to go in there and beat these teams. We're meant to be the punching bags. That's what we're meant for. But if you go in there and just do your best, like I asked my guys, hey, I don't care about the score. Score means nothing to me. Just remain competitive. Just keep competing.
Yeah.
Show them that we belong. That's it.
Yep.
That's what we do. So that part is the most exciting, is seeing their faces.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, let me ask you, man, like, what did it feel like for you as a player playing those pro games and in those pro arenas with the team that you're representing right now? What did it mean for you and your teammates to have that happen?
I will say, like me personally, when we first arrived at the stadium, that's when the jitters started, getting really nervous. And
No doubt. No doubt.
when after the first play, it kind of slowly started going away, and then by halftime, you're kind of feeling all right. You're good to go. Second year going, I don't think we had any jitters because we already knew what we were walking into again. So we were able to just compete right from the first snap all the way to the end.
That's what's up. It's all about improvement, right? It's all about getting better
Yeah,
across the board, right? Like the way that works. How
absolutely.
about no doubt? How about you, Mondo? How'd it feel for you, man? Like how'd it feel playing? Whether it was the international bowl or against a pro team, arena team or whatever. How does it feel for
Uh,
you, man?
the pro arena team, it was surreal, man. Like the environment, the energy, like it's different from our local crowds, or whenever we go play up in Austin or something like that. That arena itself, we went in there really wide eyed. I'll tell you that for sure.
No doubt.
Like it was a very like some of these guys. I know some of the guys had already been on pro teams before, and they had that experience already. But some of the guys that have never played it before, like myself included, like we went in there really wide eyed, and those guys were good. Like it was a really good competitive game. I'll tell you that. I mean, we lost, and I really wouldn't want to say the score, but um, I'll just put it. I've never lost that bad in my life. I'd say that. Um, but no, that for sure was a surreal moment, and I'm glad it was actually televised, so my family got to see it here back home. Other people that I knew that lived other places, I sent them the link, like, hey, I'll be playing this pro game. Here's the link, stuff like that. And then in Mexico, I had never played 3 football games in one day. That was pretty crazy to me. I mean, it was raining, it was cold, so we were soaking wet, standing there waiting for the next game. Um, and then, even the first day we got there, we had to travel good maybe 5 hours from where we lived to into Mexico, and then we had to play right when we got off the bus, basically.
Wow,
Damn.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Hey, Mondo, while I got you here, man, if you're trying to sell recruiting a player, to come play for your team, like what would you say to them if they wanted to continue playing, but they can't, they're not at the arena level? Like how would you recruit a player? Like if I wanted to play, how would you recruit me to come down, man? Like I'm just curious how you would sell that.
Uh, Honestly, I tell you what we're about.
Yeah,
Uh, what I personally think the guys are about,
no doubt.
like teammates, coaches, stuff like that. And then obviously, we do, well, not we, but our coach and
Yeah.
Daniel, they help provide, equipment, pads, helmets. They get us really good uniforms. Like if you go look at our pages, we have all these cool uniforms. Good designs. I'm sure Juan designed those himself. Um, but no, man, like I feel like I tell you, we're we really have a really good brotherhood. Like, you can trust one another. Yes, we have the days where we chip at each other and stuff like that, but it's never a moment to where it gets over that. We chip at each other, and that's it.
Yeah, it's the same everywhere. I think. Daniel, same thing. Is that it's kind of similar how you would sell me on to come join your squad?
Absolutely. I would literally let them know if they. I would ask them, where are they trying to go? Are they trying to advance further than that? And then I'd have to tell them, Ted doesn't promise anything. You're gonna have to put in work and try to open the door, and Ted will help you through the door, but you got to run through it. So, but other than that, how we are as a family and what everybody expects as a team, and we wouldn't expect anybody to go out there and give 70% because we're all going to be giving 110%. So, and that's just coming from how the owners expect us to be, and what they expect us to, as far as on and off the field, be like, as far as men.
Yeah, no doubt for sure. Hey, Coach Ted, real quick, what's the
Mhm.
preparation like for this? Is like with this game coming up, this national championship coming up, has the preparation changed at all for you, or is it still just the same business day in day out?
Um, Preparation for it is the same. The different part of the preparation timeline changes
Yeah, no doubt.
because we have to travel.
Mm.
And so preparing for something like this, you're not changing what you do and how you do it. You're changing on how often you do it and how early you have to do it. And that part of the preparation is slightly different. But once we're where we need to be and we're preparing, that part doesn't change. It also doesn't help per se that we've never stepped foot on the field with the Phantoms. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of unknowns. And there's a lot of what if moments, like what if they do this, what if they do that. And so um, preparing in that manner might be slightly different. But like I said, it's mostly just preparing in a timely manner so that my guys can travel and get everybody there in a adequate kind of timeline so that we can continue and be prepared to play a game against a formidable opponent.
Yeah, no doubt for sure. Coach Juan, same thing for you. And any changes in the prep, or is it just basically because of the unknowns? There's only so much you can really do.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we've never played each other. There's a lot of unknown variables that can happen throughout the game, and it's gonna be one of those I guess who adapts better kind of games. At least that's what I think. At least I'm speaking on our team's behalf, right?
Mm.
We don't know who's their star players or yeah, we've heard we know they're a great team, but that means that everyone's good. So it's like who do you really key on, right?
Mm.
It's going to be a tough matchup for us at least. Like that's just
Mhm.
me. Um, so yeah, but preparation, it's somewhat the same. You tweak things here and there, but the Sentinels have gotten to where they're at because they're good at what they do and they're good at how they prepare. And the same thing goes for any team or organization that continues to win. So I wouldn't say we tweak too much, but yeah, the who's going to come out, who's going to who are we going to have to focus on in the first quarter, in the second quarter, and third quarter, fourth quarter. So it's going to be interesting. I'll be honest. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, our coaches' hats are going to get tested on both sides of the ball, on both
Mhm.
sides of the team. And our player coaches, kind of like Daniel and Mondo, and how they make their adjustments on the field, and all that stuff's going to be tested probably to the next level. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a great one. I mean,
Uh,
people tune in.
I got a follow up question there, Juan, for you, real quick. Outside of other than a victory, obviously, because I'm sure that both you coaches want victory, but outside of a victory, what do you hope comes from this national championship game on April 26th? Like,
Mhm.
what do you want to, or what do you hope the world sees that tunes in on the Shady Sports
Mhm.
Network to watch this game? Basically,
So yes, yeah, that's a great question. But I think the thing for me is that people are gonna be able to see, and I'm talking about the football world, right? And even those beyond that, two teams can get together that don't know each other, play semi-pro slash minor league football, whichever way you wanna spin it,
hmm
put on a great show for the fans, whether it's in person or on social media platforms. Shake hands, become brothers, even though Texas and California, and then show everybody that's how you do it. And I don't mean that's how you play the game of football. I'm saying that you have to have that camaraderie, that respect for one another, right?
for sure. Yeah.
To me, that's very important, and I'm sure it's important for Ted, and that's why they're willing to travel all the way over here so we can put on a show, so we can put on, hey, this is how you get these games going, right? Nobody wants to see anything unprofessional, and I don't have to describe what that means, right? We all know what that means.
We all know what that
No,
means.
exactly. We don't need to add more light on that. What I hope happens and what I'm looking forward to is great game, Shake hands after the game. Great game. The Sentinels and the Phantoms are forever tied together because of this game, and we can both help promote and spark the 8-man world up a little more. I want to see some more teams get in the mix. Hopefully for next year, and this becomes a yearly thing. I think that's what we're aiming for. Something I'd like to compare it to is I think they're called like the USA Bowl or something like that for 11-man that they play in Florida. I think it's if it's the wrong name, I apologize.
Nope, that's what it
But
is. It's the USA
yes,
Bowl.
sir.
Yep.
USA Bowl, and they usually have 3 games, and they pick like 6 solid teams from different leagues. They all meet up in Florida, and they have 3 solid games. The best of the best play in 3 different games. And who knows? Maybe this could be the beginning, the start of something very similar to like that. Whether it's in Houston where we're going to meet up or somewhere else. That's what I'm aiming for here.
No doubt, no doubt. How about you, Coach Ted? Basically the same thing. Going to echo everything that he just said, or?
I mean, it's like I said, like Juan tells me it's hard to follow Ted. Well, it's hard to follow Juan. It's like if you don't get asked the question first, you might not get the best answer. No, Juan hit it on the head. I think, and this is for people on the outside world that don't really realize. You guys that might be listening to this need to understand how much Daniel and Juan and myself and my leadership team has been conversating to make something spark in this world. It hasn't been an easy road. It's not easy to take 2 teams from 2 different states that are about 19 to 20 hours apart and put them in the same city playing for a game that we all love and an opportunity like this. To say, hey, it could be done. Well, no, it takes a lot of conversations. We've had countless hours, countless meetings. We've been very transparent with each other, which, to be very honest with you, is very rare when you take 2 owners from 2 different teams from 2 different leagues and try to be as transparent as possible, and you've never met in person. Yet we found a way. We've compromised. We've said, hey, what do you guys think about this idea? Not one idea or not one thing has been set in stone until both teams have agreed.
Right.
Like, hey, what do you think of this idea? Juan came up with an idea. Hey, you know what? Let's roll with it. Cool. Now we move forward. It's been both teams had to sign off on this, and I think a lot of teams should look at that and say, hey, if those 2 can figure it out and figure out ways to make it work, because they're not probably 2 things are happening. They're not probably playing in the same style of football, as far as league rules go. So you got to find ways to make that work. You got to figure out how you're going to transport everybody. Where's a good location? Juan and Daniel and his brother and their significant others have put in a lot of work, and so we appreciate that because we're so far away that it's hard for us to do some of that. But I want the community of football in the United States to see 8-man football is real. It's real football.
Right.
It really is. And we can do special things just like 11-man does, just like any other football. What Juan and I and the Phantoms are trying and the Sentinels are trying to do is bring back that vibe we used to have. What was it, Juan, like 2-3 years ago, where it was just, 8-man football was on fire.
Yeah.
Like you heard it from football was being played everywhere.
Yeah.
It went silent. We almost forgot that there's teams out there.
Yeah, and everybody was fighting for like that 1, 2, 3, 4 spot. Like it was constant. It's that's we want that absolutely.
Yeah, we want to bring that competitiveness back. Like, hey, dude, how come I'm not number 4? I should be number 1. We want that. We want those challenges, those conversations to come out. Like, hey, what do I got to do to get to number 1? Well, hey, you got to do A, B, and C. Cool. Now you have a goal. Now you have something to work for. I would love to see 6 teams go to the same city, and each one plays for a different kind of championship, obviously. And whoever number 1 and number 2 are ranked gets to play for the true overall ranking, and 2 and 3. But they're little bowl games. It brings excitement to the world of football. That's what this game is very significant for. That's why me and Juan are really trying to push for this, so that we can get those opportunities for those other teams to open their eyes and say, hey, don't take your pride and push it out there so that you're so prideful that you don't want to work together with another team. Like, hey, do it for the sport. If you're truly about growing a sport, this is what me and Juan are putting on right now. Doing something for the love of the sport to grow.
So basically, what you're saying is this game here is going to be hopefully the ball rolling on something major and significant inside the developmental football world and the 8-man football world that hopefully can spawn something bigger. I love that from both you guys, for sure. I got one last question for the captains each. I'm gonna have a little fun with this one. Daniel, I'm gonna start with you. I want to know, Daniel. Are you looking forward to Texas barbecue? That's the first thing I want to know.
Absolutely. I'm looking. I'm looking for the big beef ribs and the sausage.
You have to hook up with Mondo. Mondo will get you on that one. He'll take care of you. And my second question to you, Daniel, is who's your all-time favorite football player?
All-time football player. I actually have two, and that would be Ray Lewis and Jamal Lewis, both from the Ravens.
Nice. Now, are you a Ravens fan?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait, are you from California?
Yeah, I know.
But you're a Ravens fan? You're from California? Oh, okay. All right. Hey, kudos to you. Hey. Hey, kudos to you for all sure. Okay. I like it. Ray Lewis is a good one for sure. Mondo, are you gonna hook Daniel up, show him some barbecue spots over there when you guys after the game, whatever?
Well, I think we'll both be looking, man. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too familiar with everything in Houston, but we could definitely go look.
No doubt. How about you, Mondo? Who's your favorite all-time football player, man?
Honestly, let's go with Lawrence Taylor.
Okay, LT.
Nice.
Nice little drop. LT was a hell of a player for sure. Coach Ted, how about you? Who's your favorite football player all time?
All time. You know, it's more of a recent player. And Daniel's gonna laugh because he knows that I'm gonna be like this. But it's Mike Allstott.
Mike also beat a fullback. Nice little fullback. Okay. All right. Okay. Fullback love on the show for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I understand that he was probably a running back, but dude was literally lined up at the fullback position more than
Yeah, no. He's saying he'll get a fullback, but he played running back because nobody could tackle the A train. He was too big.
He was
That boy loaded his shoulders and it was over.
Special player. Ain't nobody even.
Yeah.
How about you, Juan? Who was your favorite all-time player?
Mine's Julius Peppers.
I love Julius Peppers. Hey, it's really
just freak athlete, could do it all.
Absolutely.
You know, that guy's just phenomenal athlete. I've always, I guess, admired the way he plays the game. You could really land that Julius Peppers anywhere. So yeah, Julius Peppers for sure, by far.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go around the table one more time. Daniel, if you were the GM of the Tennessee Titans, who are you taking with the first pick?
It sure ain't gonna be Sanders. So,
he may not get out of the first. He may get out of the first round. That's right.
I think I'd have to go with Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. You gonna stick with the Cam Ward one? All right. Mondo, same thing. Cam Ward. You think so?
I like Cam Ward, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I go with.
Coach Ted, take Cam Ward as well, or?
I mean, because Tennessee needs the QB, and he just fits that mold. Yeah, but don't sleep on Tyler. I think he's kind of one of that sleepy, in the diamond in the rough kind of player too. I think his accuracy is pretty good. So it could be either or. You would win with either or, honestly.
Yeah. How about you, Juan?
I mean, Tennessee they just need a quarterback, so Cam Ward's the obvious one.
Okay,
I think I like Abdul Carter. As far as like overall player.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be immediate impact kind of player. But
I do too.
Tennessee needs a Q. So
that probably should have been the better question. Who do you think is the overall better prospect in the draft?
Yeah. I mean, better. I think of those. The guy's a freak athlete. But I mean, I'm a defensive end guy, so that's kind of my little.
You're being biased.
Hey,
I'm a little biased with that.
I got Abdul Carter as my number one overall as well. I mean, I think Travis.
That's a good player though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think Travis Hunter is a hell of an athlete or whatever. But I just think Abdul Carter is an automatic difference maker across the board. So, as well. All right, I don't have anything else. So first and foremost, I want to thank Coach Ted, Daniel, Mondo, and Coach Juan for joining me tonight. talking a little bit about this 8-man football. The national championship game is going to be aired on April 26th. It's 3 days away. 3 days away. It's going to be here on the live on the Shady Sports Network, so make sure you're tuning into that as well. The game is starting off at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, so that's Texas time for you. 4:30 p.m. California time for the Sentinels followers as well. And yeah, I don't have anything else. Normally at this point in time, if anybody has anything they want to shout out real quick, we could start with Daniel. If you have anybody you want to shout out real quick and say anything to, no?
Nope,
Mondo.
I'm fine.
Okay, Mondo, you have anything you want to say real quick to anybody now?
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay, Coach Ted, you got anything that you want to shout out?
I mean, no shout outs, but I look forward to actually meeting Juan and Daniel in person. This video chat stuff gets kind of, boring at times. So it'll be fun to have that pregame conversation with two people that I've been working months with. So it'll be kind of nice.
No doubt. Juan, anything you want to shout out real quick? Anybody you want to shout out or anything?
No, sir, but likewise, just to get to know the Sentinels in person, and it's going to be an awesome game. People tune in. It's going to be fun. All
right, and for all you that tuned into this as well and they plan on watching the game, make sure if you watch it on the Shady Sports Network, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, hit the little dingy so you get the notifications for whenever there is. We cover everything from indoor, outdoor, overseas, underseas, 8-man football. We got a couple women's sports shows in the works coming up as well for that future. And that's going to do it for us here for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, good night.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.